In this episode of Healing Plants, we're going to be making a New Year's stir fry and we're going to be making a recycled vegan burger.
Oh yeah, the healing power plants, oh yeah. The healing power plants,
Another one of my
oh
personal
yeah.
favourites, reishi mushroom.
The healing power plants, oh yeah. With Juliet.
Happy New Year to you all and welcome to Healing Plants with me, Juliet Bryant. This episode we're going to be focusing on waste. What a subject. Now, we're really fortunate where we are that 5 miles away from us is an incredible man called Phil Misen from Moynes Park Organic who delivers organic veg without waste. I mean, look at this broccoli, it's incredible. So this is a really amazing thing that we're so fortunate to have. And also we've got an array of herbs in our garden that we can go and access to make amazing medicinal food. And as you guys know, that's what I'm really into, making food our medicine. But there's another side to it all. So I do my best for the environment and I try to be as eco as I can and buy local veg. But I like organic. But look at this plastic and this packaging. Okay, this isn't so good. Now, some of the companies that I use, I'm researching, have been switching, which is amazing, to fully compostable packaging. So this is great. But you know, glass, plastic, we don't want all of this stuff. Plastic. So what are we going to do with all of this waste? Where is that going to go? In the landfill. So there must be another solution. And solutions are being made, they are being presented like this. You know, this is amazing, the fact that we can, some companies are switching over, but it's not quick enough. I return every time my plastic from my bananas to whoever I buy it from, so that I'm trying to make a statement. I don't want this waste. I really don't, and it's not necessary, okay? So that's the key, it's not a necessary waste. There are places, and we'll go and view them later, where you can fill up things like your glass jars, but there's another kind of waste, isn't there? I love my bananas and I love putting them in smoothies, but what do I do with this? What do I do with the skin? Where we live, there is no food waste collection. So we've got compost bins in the back, but they fill up quite quickly. We're a family of 5. We use a lot of the stuff up, but this we cannot eat and we cannot use. So Giles, my wonderful inventive husband, comes up with regular solutions on what to do with our food waste. So we're going to go over to Giles and he's going to show you some of the solutions that we're coming up with. Giles!
Hi everyone, hope you're well. Well, Happy New Year. One of the things that really concerns me is food waste, and what a waste that is anyway when we don't use all of the food that we buy. But more importantly, what do we do with all the vegetable peelings and all the old, you know, bits of food we haven't eaten? And you can compost it, that's a great thing. We don't have a lot of space here for compost, so what we've done is just filled up these bins. And they end up really stinking, and then you think, well, what do we do with it? So for months we've just been putting our food waste in the landfill, which is just terrible. So we've got a solution for the new year. Zachary and I have built this raised bed, haven't we? We have indeed. And get a nice bit of sun, get a nice bit of summer sun. So we're going to fill this with vegetables and fruits, various things we're going to put in. So we could basically made, or you could dig a hole. So one of the things you can do, you've got to bury it. So this is one of our, now obviously you can't smell this like at home, but this is a mixture. Can you see that there? This is a mixture, let's move it out of the way for a minute, of ash and rotten food waste. No animal products in here. No meat or anything, no fish, you know.
Are you gonna dig that?
So a few eggshells in there. We're going to dig this in here. Now this is really quite rotten,
Yeah.
and this is going to make fantastic compost.
I think
They've got all sorts in here. We've got some food waste packaging that Juliet uses. That is all compostable. It'll take a while to compost down. Oh my god, it stinks. But we're going to bury this. We've got soil and we've got the old things from the greenhouse. I'm trying to get some out so I can actually lift it in. All compostable packaging in there.
what's that?
So I'm going to try and lift this up. Do you think I can do this, Zachary?
Yeah.
He does, so he thinks I can do it. Oh. Ah. God. Oh. Oh. Well, I'm going to have to do some yogic breathing for this one, alright?
Yeah.
Now breathe with me, okay? Oh, it absolutely stinks, but this is going to rot down and fertilise the vegetables eventually that we're going to grow in here. Try it again. Oh. Ah! Oh, come on. Where there's a will, there's a way. Bring it. Oh, God, it really does stink as well. We're going to do it. God, you need gloves for this job, I tell you. Oh my God. Well,
Oh my god.
you leave me with this, Juliet. Back to you.
Good job Giles has a strong back. Whilst he's busy working, I'm going to make a stir fry. Now, we've got these different piles here. This pile is from Phil. This is no waste, okay? There's absolutely no waste involved in this. This is a pile. It's not a big pile, but it's still a pile from our garden that we've grown. An apple in January from our store. That's impressive, I think, isn't it? And apples are amazing foods. We've got some spinach and we've got some herbs and some chilli. Not a lot, but enough to make an amazing addition to what we're doing. And this is stuff that we've brought over here. Now the stuff here, we've got glass that's going to be recycled, we've got a pot that's going to be reused. So this is all stuff that actually won't be wasted, even though it's bought and it is resources that need something done to them. We're going to be reusing those things. We've got some nuts and seeds. These did come in plastic that we've soaked. We'll be adding those later on. So when we're making food, it's really important when we've got organic stuff, and this is for educational and information purposes only. I'm not recommending you do this, but it's food for thought. On this, we've got some amazing skin. When you're making a stir fry, one of the things that's good is you can peel things like this so they cook quickly. Now, as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm peeling the skin with it. Now, this skin has bits of dirt on it. Really, really important nutrient for our body is B12. B12 is essential for mental health, for our nervous system. Really, really key. Now, B12 is a nutrient. It's a bacteria that's found in soil. So when you eat organic food with traces of soil on it, I'm not saying go and eat loads of dirt. This might contain B12. In fact, it does contain B12. When you eat animal products, you get that B12 because animals are eating the grass, which has earth on it, which has B12 that's going into them, and then we are getting the B12 as a byproduct of eating that. But if you have organic veg like this that you have a bit of dirt on, then it's the same process. We're going to be putting this into a pan. What we're doing here is we're having a rainbow of food. Red and yellow and pink and blue. Okay, so we've got some parsnip. We're going to be adding more to it. We've got some carrot. Lovely carrot. It's really good to eat that cross section of nutrients, getting that rainbow of food in, because every different colour has a different antioxidant. Colour pigments equal antioxidants. So this is a really key thing to bear in mind. When you're eating different colours, you're getting different nutrients. So the more colours you can get, the more nutrients you're getting in your body. It makes sense, doesn't it? Also, when you look at food, we've got an energetic thing going on. Colours have a vibration and this affects our being. So when you're eating purples, it's affecting you. When you're eating oranges, yellows, all of these different colours, it's all having a different effect. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chop this garlic up. Now I'm going to leave this garlic to the side. Something really interesting about garlic that's really worth bearing in mind. When you chop garlic, what happens when the air starts to get to it is you activate the allicin. Now, allicin is one of the active components, the medicinal active component in garlic, the really strong antibiotic component. So if this sits out here for 10 minutes over to the side, what this is doing is it's really activating that allicin. Now, when you cook it, because it's had time to activate, you're not going to be destroying that medicinal property. Amazing, huh? Who knew that? So we're going to leave that to the side so that can work its magic whilst we carry on chopping. We've got some ginger here, natural anti-inflammatory. I love ginger. Let's grate the ginger. Ginger is very good for our digestive system. It's very good to help ease flatulence, help reduce inflammation. It's got such a nice flavour, and it's really good in the winter because it's got that warming quality on your body. If you're eating raw food, obviously we're doing a stir fry, but if you are eating raw food in the winter, adding things like ginger and chilli to it is really good because it gives your body that heat that you need. So in goes the ginger. Look at this amazing broccoli. I mean, that is just far out. We've had a rolling onion then. That's far out, this broccoli. I absolutely love this. Now with broccoli, quite often and cauliflower, people think you can't use the stalks and you can't use the leaves. So many people throw it all away, but actually you can, and there's so much goodness in it. So we want to have the leaves of these things. Cauliflower leaves are super cool to eat. And so we want to be having all of that. You just need to chop it up finely. Cauliflower leaves are one of my favourite things to consume as well as broccoli ones and broccoli stalks. Oh, I love it. And look at that beautiful purple colour with the green. Really amazing. Okay. So we're getting all these veg chopped up finely, put into our pot, and we're going to really lightly cook it all. With a stir fry, you don't want to overcook things. You just want to lightly cook it so you get that fresh crunchiness of the vegetables, so you're not destroying loads of those nutrients. It's just that little heat, and then enjoy. Okay. We're going to put some leeks in here, some courgette. A great thing to do with courgettes is to just give them a peel. Look at that. This is a really cool peeler. This is like a spiralizing peeler. So we're getting loads of little strands of courgettes going in there. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, let's chuck that in. Okay, let's get some herbs. We've got some chilli. We brought our chilies in when it started to get cold out, because I love chilli, and what's so exciting is that they're growing on the windowsill, so we've still got an amazing supply of chilies, which is brilliant in January. So we're going to chop some rosemary up. Rosemary is very good for the memory. We love rosemary. Rosemary's good for muscles as well, to reduce aches and pains in your muscles. Spinach from the garden, still growing in January. Love it. We've got some mint we're going to put in, so we're just going to peel the leaves off of this. Mint is one of those foods like chili that help the deliverance of things into your system, so it helps your body access more of it. We've got some sage we're going to finely chop and put in. Sage is very antibacterial, so really good for throat, coughs and colds, things like that. When we were little, if we ever got a sore throat, my mum would make us a sage tea. At the time I didn't like it, but it was very effective. We've got some thyme, talking of thyme, which we're going to put in. What I'm doing is I'm just peeling it off the stalk, like so, and then just sprinkling those leaves in and getting rid of the stalky bit. Thyme again, antibacterial, antiviral, good thing to be having. Plus you're getting that fresh energy of life force going into your food, which is great. Anyone who knows Juliet's Kitchen knows that this amazing thing is my logo. The cabbage is such a far out plant. I mean, look at that. It looks like a woman, it looks like a tree, it looks like so many different things all at once, doesn't it? It is just one of those super cool foods. And what a colour that we've got going on with that cabbage. Cabbages are so high in nutrients. Cabbages, cauliflowers, broccoli are all very good to help us balance our hormonal system. For men and women, really key thing that we balance out our hormonal system, because we've got so many fake estrogens in the water, from plastic bottles, from our environment. So bringing balance to our system by eating foods like this is great. And it's got so much life force. Cabbages are one of the most highly bacterial foods. And when I say that, I mean that in a good way. That's why they use cabbage to make sauerkraut, because we need bacteria in our diet. We're just gonna chop a little bit of leek in there as the last thing. I'm gonna do this in strands. Okay, we're gonna use some sun-dried tomatoes as well going in here. There we go. I love a sun-dried tomato. It's kind of holding on to the energy of the summer and the energy of the tomato, that vibrancy when we've passed it. So it's a good way of preserving things that are no longer growing. Apple. Apples are high in pectin. Pectin is very good for our digestive system. Pectin is also very good for coughs. If you get a stomach upset, apples are really important for that. Now, what's really cool is that because of what Giles is creating at the moment, we've got room for our food waste again, which is great. Because it's such a hard thing, isn't it, when you get food waste and you've got nothing to do with it. We don't want to chuck it into the landfill. That's not a great thing at all, is it? But some people don't have an option. What are you meant to do if your local council don't collect it? I think we need to petition our local councils to collect our food waste, because not everyone has an amazing husband like I've got who can create beds for them where they can put their food waste to settle and to nourish the soil. So we need support from our local council so that we don't throw these things in the landfill, which are going to sit in plastic bags and create so much gas, ammonia, as it decomposes down, which isn't going to help anyone. Whereas actually, this could be feeding the world, couldn't it? Our soil needs food just like we need food. So if we can put our waste back into the earth, we're feeding the earth, we're feeding the soil with all that goodness and nourishment. So this is what we want. Look at this, it's a packed full thing. Salt. This is raw grey sea salt or Celtic salt, so it's not from that far away. It's got approximately 80 trace minerals in it, so it's a really good thing for us to be consuming. We need salt in our diet, but we don't want table salt. We've got some black pepper in here, which has come from India, from an organic spice farm when we used to go over there. Black pepper activates nutrients in food, so it's really helping to bring out the goodness of all that food. So that's amazing. We've got some nuts and seeds that have soaked here and been activated, but we're going to put those on at the very end when that's cooked, because we don't want to heat these. We can just warm them lightly, but we don't actually want to heat them. So I'm going to go and see how Giles is getting on outside now with the bed. What?
Oh, watch out!
Oh, good job, Daddy.
Well,
Good job, Daddy.
that's the first one in there.
Yeah, you're good.
And got sawdust as well. I think when you're making compost, mix it up. You want green and brown, you know.
Yeah.
Food waste, you want cardboard, chippings. Absolutely stinks. As you might be able to see, Juliet's not out here doing this.
No,
But
stinks.
stinks. So, first level of that.
Good.
This is just some grasses and cuttings, prunings. Just put that on the top. That'll rot down, you know. Oh, there's a hollyhock there, look. Oh dear, now this is food. But, it's fine, it's still got the roots, so we'll replant this, Zachary, look.
Yeah.
We'll probably put this in this bed, actually.
I think so.
Maybe we'll put that at the back there.
I think so.
Yeah? Because the flowers make a nice cough medicine.
Yeah.
Well, give us a bit more time here. We'll fill this. We're going to use the old The old pots.
Don't go down there.
Oh! Like the compost from previous years. Some topsoil. We're going to make a lovely bed in here. You can dig that, yeah. You want to put some of that over. Great to get the young ones involved in this. And also just making the best use of our food waste, which is to use it on site, yeah? There's other things that you might be able to use to help it, different composting systems that people use. But this is working for us. And what is this? This is fascinating, isn't it? If you just show me this here.
I can do it.
So in the depths of winter, really, you've got food. I don't know if you can see this here. I'll get a close up. It's a type of fungus called the Jew's ears. It does actually look like an ear. I don't know why it looks like. I don't know because the Jew's ears. It looks like anyone's ear, but absolutely fascinating. I think you make a tea. I'll take this into Juliet. She can make something out of it from these spawned logs. Well done, Zachary. See you later.
So we're going to make some recycled vegan burgers. It's a bit of a weird term, recycled vegan burgers. Are we going to be using plastic and glass? No. What we're using is some leftover curry from last night. So this has got chickpeas, cauliflower, some mushrooms, courgettes, lots of good stuff. And we're just going to mash it up a little bit so we don't have lots of really big pieces in here. It's a great thing to do so that you can recycle a meal, make it into something different so you don't have to have the same thing you had the night before, and you're not wasting food, which is really, really key. You know, when there's so many people in the world who don't have food, we don't want to be wasting the food that we've got. Chickpeas are a great source of protein that we can be having as well. Okay, so that is mashed up enough for us there. Next thing we're going to do is we've got a little bit of porridge left over that the children didn't finish this morning. So that's going to help give it a bit of structure. In that goes. We've got 3 tablespoons of flour. This is gluten-free buckwheat flour. So that's going to help it all bind together from our little coconut bowls. We're going to add some beetroot. Beetroot is one of my favourite foods at the moment. I'm really, really enjoying eating lots of beetroot. Beetroot is great for the liver. It's high in betaine, and betaine really helps us to methylate. It helps us to get rid of toxins and supports the liver in that process. So a really amazing food to have. And again, look at that colour. It's so vibrant. I've been having lots of raw beetroot every day with my food because I like to have a little bit of raw food with my meals to help have enough enzyme activity in that food. So my hands end up covered in beetroot. Let's add that in. Yum, yum, yum. Look at that. That is great. Okay. We're going to give that a good mix together. Then we're going to add some salt and pepper to our combination in a second. And you can use whatever seasoning you like, whatever flavours you like. We're going to add a little bit of garam masala, a little pinch of garam masala to that. And I'm going to show you that lovely thing. Okay. We're going to add a bit of salt to the proceedings and a little bit of pepper. Now, if you want to, you could add something like the Engavita yeast flakes to give it some nutrition, and also to get it so it's more firm, so it binds together. This is a great binder, which is really good to add in. Now we're going to add a little bit of oil to help it along. But we don't want a lot of oil because these are quite liquidy already. And then we're going to mix that all. So look at this lovely thing we've got going on. Great colour, isn't it? Now what we're going to do is we're going to make this into some patties like so. And we're going to leave this to sit for 20 minutes to firm up a little bit more. Oh look, we might be able to get 3 out of this, maybe 4. I think my little one, when he gets home from nursery, will enjoy a little bit of this. Okay, so we're going to put that now to sit. Taste test, really important thing to do. And then we're going to put it in the oven for 10 minutes at 180, and then we're going to flip them over for another 10 minutes at 180. And I'm going to go and wash my hands. Making a stir fry is easy. I've got 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in here, which I've heated. I'm going to add the veg and stir. Whoa, look at it all going in. This will be done in 5 minutes. Nearly done now, and I'm going to add in the nuts for the final 30 seconds, just to warm them up and mix them through. We've got pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, and cashew nuts, all pre-soaked. Isn't that looking delicious? Look at this delicious food and almost zero waste from it. And let's have a taste. So good. Delicious food, quick and easy to prepare, minimal waste, highly nutritious. What more could we want? I think you can tell I enjoyed that. There's not much left on my plate. Poor Giles has been working outside the whole time and I haven't brought him any. Hopefully there's enough for me to put up a little plate to keep him going. Darling!
Oh God, about time. I am hungry.
Well, I've got a little sample of the food
Yeah, here we go.
that we've made.
Wow, this looks amazing. Thanks, Juliet.
Lots of rainbow colours in there. It's good, isn't it?
Just what I need. What do you think of your new raised bed?
I think it looks absolutely lovely, and I like the log here with the Jew's ear on as well.
There we go.
It's looking really good.
I've planted herbs and all from the garden. All of this is recycled, so no waste here. So
You're very
anyway,
good at that.
I'm going to tuck into my burger and see you next time on Healing Plants.
Take care.
Mmm.